Hi, everyone. Welcome to Chair Yoga. If you are new to this YouTube channel, please subscribe. If after you've had a taste of our yoga here on my Chair Yoga channel and you like it, it's something you could get into, I really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. It's a big help. Well, we're starting today with a poem. I usually finish the program. I finish my class with a poem often, or some sort of reading, some sort of reflection, but I want to start it with that. Because it's kind of what I want us to be focused on in terms of what's driving our practice today. The poem's name is Yoga, pretty easy. It's by Danna Faulds. It's a well-worn, well-used book that I refer to often. And here we go. Yoga is not about the pose. It's not the alignment of toes or hips or shoulders. It's not about the form. Yoga is an invitation to explore, not a command performance. It speaks to the language of the soul. In the flow of breath and motion, yoga coaxes us from the confines of the known across the silent threshold into vastness. Yoga is the union of prayer and movement guided from inside. It is healing and the joy of saying yes to life. Breathe, relax, and feel the body receive its own truth. The seed of freedom flowers within each of us whenever we are open to what's real. So that's my invitation as we begin, is that you breathe, relax, and feel the body receive its own truth. So as you're moving in the various ways that I suggest, that you're really letting your inner wisdom, your inner truth guide you about what's comfortable and actually is providing you with a sensation that feels liberating and feels good for you. You'll know that. So let's get curious about exploring movements and breathing techniques that connect to the movements and just see where we go. I want to start with a common practice at the beginning of a yoga practice, which is Nadi Shodhana, and it's alternate nostril breathing. It's just such a good way of balancing us out, getting our bearings. And the mudra that's used for that, the hand position, is using your right hand. You extend your ring finger out and your thumb out, and that is the mechanism for plugging the nostril alternately. If that's inconvenient, doesn't feel right, and it's off-putting, just figure out a way to plug alternate nostrils. But just so you know, that is the mudra that is used. So sit up tall, get your feet grounded, and we're going to begin. I'll coach you through the whole thing. Let's take a deep breath in and out through both nostrils. And then plug up your right nostril. So you could take an inhale through the left nostril and switch so you're exhaling through the right nostril. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. Stay there. Inhale right, exhale left. Inhale right, exhale left. Inhale right, exhale left. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. And just take a breath through both nostrils, in and out. Another one, in and out. And we're going to be plugging the left nostril. So inhale right, exhale left, inhale right, exhale left, inhale right, exhale left, inhale left, exhale right, inhale left, exhale right, inhale left, exhale right, inhale right, exhale left, inhale right, exhale left, inhale right, exhale left, and let's just return to our normal breathing pattern. Sometimes after an alternate nostril practice, you will need to blow your nose. So, it's not uncommon. Don't worry. Just take your Kleenex and get yourself situated and find your breath. And know that that is a balancing, because it's balancing our right side of our body, our left side of our body, which are two very different energies. So that was just a mindful practice to acknowledge those two energies and balance that. All right, I'm going to join you in the chair. Let's get our block and place it between our legs in some fashion. I like it between my feet. You might like it between your thighs. So whatever gives you the engagement of the legs and the proper alignment that the chair and the block provide. So make sure you're situated. Feel you're close enough to the front of your chair that you have a lot of support for your pelvis and your buttocks, but yet you are free to move. You're going to be free to move your legs around, and you're not close to the backrest. You're instead, relying on your core strength. So let's just begin with palms up and deepen the breath in and out. Maybe close the eyes. It's a way of coming into the inside view, our inside perspective. I want you to notice not only the breath as it's moving in and out, all the way in and all the way out, but you're starting to notice this energy within your body, the prana, the experience of aliveness within. So it's kind of electric. Aliveness kind of nails it for me. That's the best word. But whatever, you're just noticing that there is this energy, there is this sense of vitality in the body that we're trying to also be aware of, engage in, and celebrate. So deepen your breath. As it deepens, oftentimes just awareness to the breath deepens it on its own. Please invite that in, a deeper, longer breath. Palms are open. This is the mudra of receptivity, receiving the benefits and the blessings of this practice. And today we're inviting in this curiosity, really exploring from the inside out, exploring our movements, our breath. Yoga is not about the pose. Now exhale completely. A few more rounds of your breathing where you're very aware that your exhalation has completed itself. And then as far as that personal intention, our personal intention for class, and let it be. And so it is. Flutter your eyes open, get used to the light of the room. Let's take a big breath in and lift palms together up and overhead. Exhale as we bow into our own heart. Inhale up and exhale all the way around. We're going to do 2 more of those. Inhale up, exhale, bow, up, all the way down. Inhale, exhale, bow. Inhale, exhale all the way around. Arms and hands are right alongside the frame of the chair. We're going to move into our cow pose. That's the arch of the back body. Squeezing your shoulder blades toward the midline. Squeezing your arms, upper arms toward the midline. Feeling the arch of your back body. Now ground your feet. So your legs, your hips, they feel like a real solid base from where you can move into the cow and the cat. So the cat brings our hands to our lap and we round the back body, pull the belly button in, find the roundness or just the opposite movement of what you just did. Feel it in your body, relax into it. Very familiar to all of you. And then we're going to begin the vinyasa of that, arching the back body on the inhalation, exhaling as we round through the back body. Try to breathe in and out through your nose. Give that a try. If it doesn't feel comfortable, it doesn't seem like a natural breath flow for you, then let's return to the breath flow that is natural. Be mindful of it as you breathe all the way in, breathing all the way out. So if you're trying to match my speed, I'm going to encourage you to disregard that and match your breath pattern. So my breath pattern is different than yours, perhaps, and I want you to let your breath rhythm be your guide. Really exaggerate the movement through the spine. So you can feel it. So you can feel the shift, the changes in your shoulder blades, maybe the loosening, the release of some tension in the vertebrae. Several repetitions, I know, but it's helpful. We're going to do a forward fold. So as you round your back body, just glide your hands down your legs so that you can lay yourself down into your thighs and look underneath the chair. Let your head hang, get heavy with your head, allow that so that it releases tension in your neck. Lay yourself into your thighs. Deepen the breath so you feel the belly action, the belly breathing going on. Deep belly breathing on purpose. Exhale completely. Jump your hands to your thighs, squeeze your elbows in towards your waistline, come up halfway. So you have a diagonal line of the back body, back of the head, your spine is in a diagonal line. We're going to spread our arms away from us like wings might be. Press your feet into the floor very strongly. So it feels like you're about ready to take off. You know, you're going to lift yourself up off the chair. I don't want you to do that, but I want you to have the engagement that feels like that. Strong legs pushing down so that it helps you feel like you're hovering yourself above the chair. Stay with that, release it whenever you need to, and go back for more. You can soften and release and then push back down and feel the hover. This is going to be toning our perineum, and it's really good for strengthening the thighs and the buttocks. All of those muscles are useful in a healthy hip action. Next time for your inhale, come all the way up and open up into a T, rotating your arms so the thumbs point behind you. Now let's get strong with those arms. Reach out. Move your head around so it feels like it's comfortably sitting there at the very top of your spine. Turn your head then to look from one hand to the other. Take your time. Try to turn from your ears. I know that sounds weird, but I want you to turn your head like as if that's the place of movement. You let your ears start to face a different direction. And if you've noticed that one side is tight and more difficult to turn, in other words, a limited range of movement, stay with that side a little bit longer. Work with it. So that means you're just moving in different ways, using non-linear movement. You're just exploring movement in general that seems to get you into the tight area that you've discovered. Keep breathing through your process. That's always your go-to in yoga, is to add more mindful breath. Let's meet in the middle and bring palms facing each other for what we call a seated back bend. Pull your thumbs back, your arms back. You can leave your head very neutral here and still find the upper thoracic back bend that we're creating. Or if you find a lot of flexibility and a lot of freedom in this movement, that you could face up, that you could lift your face to look up to the ceiling, then you could add that as well. Your choice. It's a seated back bend, upper thoracic. So I want you to stabilize your low back, pressing the sit bones into the chair. Pull the belly button in toward the spine. That'll stabilize your low back. And lift your arms up and back for this seated back bend. Exhale completely. Head comes back to neutral. Palms can meet up there. Inhale. Exhale. Let's bow into our heart. Thanks for that. Inhale up and all the way around. Let's do some shoulder rolls. Just start to loosen the body. Change the direction of the shoulder roll. Keep your arms as close to your body as you can. Elbows close. Pull in the belly. Just always kind of stabilize your foundational support by engaging the abdominal muscles. And then back to a neutral position. Time to slide the block out of the way. Let's take a wider stance. Heels are in, toes are pointing out. You can go as wide as it feels comfortable, but as long as your knees feel like they're located right over your ankles. Let's just circle around. So we're into the pelvic bowl, finding the fluid nature of movement. Get very curious. I would encourage you to close your eyes here so you can feel the stirring action within the pelvic bowl. You feel the musculature that's tucked inside of the bony structure of your pelvis. I know for me, I always thought of muscles kind of on the outside, but there's a lot of them that are within the bony structures, and the pelvis is certainly a primary area for that. Let's change the direction of our circle. And just notice how your weight shifts from one side of the hip, one side of the butt cheek to the other butt cheek, that kind of thing. And coming back to neutral, let's pop the eyes open, get used to that. Inhale up, exhale heart. Inhale up, we're going for a forward fold. Extend it. Yeah, you could drag your hands along your legs if that's a better option for you. Arms extended is much more challenging. So you decide what's a better option, and then look down and underneath your chair. Keep your eyes wide open. Still get into the belly. It feels different than when our legs were closer together, but still see if you can find a deeper belly type of breath. Surrendering the weight of your head and feeling your body now just folding deeply in toward itself and past your thighs. Notice that in the hips creases, where your legs and your hip comes together, you notice that fold and stretch through those hip flexors. Exhale completely. Jump your hands to your thighs. I do one at a time. Squeeze the elbows in. Again, we've got that diagonal line. Push your feet to the ground. Push, push, push. Same action. You're going to act like you're hovering above the chair. Even push your hands into your thighs to keep you down. Yet you're trying to, this dynamic tension. You're trying to imagine a floating or a hovering above the chair. And at the same time, you're stabilizing and pushing down into your thighs. Release it, soften it all, bring yourself back to an upright position. Let's bring our legs back to hips distance apart, and we're going to do some work that is actually going to strengthen our biceps. So just squeeze your hands together, make a fist, a strong fist, and then as you bend those elbows and bring your fists up towards your shoulders, I want you to just really contract those muscles of the arm. So you're really trying to find your muscle. Remember how we would do that as kids, to show our bicep muscle? Let's just find our muscles by just contracting. So here's the movement we're going to play with here. Engage the belly. So that's our bicep curls. Let's add some weight to that. So I want you to interlace your hands under your leg and surrender the heaviness of that leg into your arms. Let's just move the foot around to begin with. So let's work on heavying up the leg so that we're surrendering the weight of the leg into the support of the arms. And while we're at it, might as well start moving the foot around. We'll slow down the movement, stop the movement of the foot. Now let's do our curls. So you're going to lift that leg up. That's the resistance, the weight of your leg. Plenty of resistance, but you've got to really surrender the weight of your leg and not just let your leg take over and start lifting itself up and down. Just surrender the weight of your leg using your biceps as the weight, as the weight bearing that will provide more strength to those arm muscles. Couple more bicep curls. Heaviness of the leg provides the weight. Genius, right? Let's hug that knee into the chest, really pull it in. I'm going to suggest you get your hands onto your shin, really pulling it in. And we're going to push and pull. So you push one side, push through the extended leg and pull in on the bent knee side. So you're going to feel a tilt. You're going to have to lean back a little bit to balance all that. No problem. Pulling in and pushing through so you feel the split in your body. Okay. 2 different actions. Find your breath, soften your mouth. Let's plant that foot back on the floor, steadiness of that, the support of that. And then we're going to just lengthen out through that bent knee. Nice strong leg, as strong and long as you can, as little bend of the knee as you can. Go straight out. Just keep it straight out in front of you. You could even use a hand to sort of push down into your thigh bone, trying to encourage more straightness. And you decide how you're holding it, how high you go. All of that is up to your own exploration. Deepen the breath. Your wise guide is your breath, because you know from the ease of your breath whether or not it is working for you. So if you have a nice, easy, rhythmic breath, this is a posture that is just fine and safe for your body. If it feels difficult to breathe, you'll certainly want to modify something. Finish the breath you're on. Let's hug that knee into the chest one more time. Both feet to the floor. Take a moment now to reset your body in case there's any movement now that you need to do to reset after all of that. Let's just remind ourselves of the bicep curl while we catch up with our breathing. Deepening the breath, aware of the breath. Bicep curls looks like this. Strong arms is what we're working on. Good. And then let's slip our hands underneath the other leg and start to spin your foot around as you start to surrender the weight of this leg into the strength of your arms. Get the hang of that. Exhale completely. Heaviness of the leg. We'll stop the circular action and we'll start doing our bicep curls. So keep your elbows squeezed in towards your waist and use your arms. You got to take a lot of focus here. Your leg will want to take over. I want you to override that. Let your arms do the work. And we're going to do several. You need several repetitions. Bicep curl, strengthening the arms. Good. Let's hug it into the chest now. Hold on to your shins, interlace hands so you can hold into the shins. So pull and push. Notice how you're right within the frame of the chair. You're not going wide. You don't get sloppy. You're keeping yourself in the energetic dimension of the chair. So you're keeping yourself right in, drawing toward the midline, pulling and pushing. Check in with your neck. Make sure there's no tension there. You're releasing and relaxing the weight of the head, perfectly suitable to the health of your neck. You can do it. It just takes awareness. Keep holding on to that shin and let the other foot come to the ground. And then we're going to just straighten it out, straighten that bent knee and lift it up. Straightening it is what we're working on. Lifting up. You decide how you're holding your leg. I use one hand to hold my leg and the other hand to kind of push into the thigh. Now stay aware of your breath. You don't need to be looking at the screen. What you're doing is paying attention to what your body needs to extend that leg while you're sitting. Deepen the breath. Lift it as high as you can. Bend the knee, hug it into the chest, both feet to the floor. Catch up with your breath. Let's do some shoulder rolls or anything your body seems to want in terms of a reset, changing the direction. And back to a neutral position. I'm going to ask you to shift over towards your left, just a smidge, so you can extend your leg out. Create, if you can, sort of a right angle between your legs. Bent knee facing forward, shoulders are facing forward. I want you to just rotate your foot a little bit. So of course, that's just bringing yourself up into the thigh bone, up into the bones of the leg, moving around into your hip. Good. And then lift your toes up. So heel is down, but the toes are up. Opposite arm is going to lift up real close to the side of your head, near your ear. And you're going to stretch over in that direction. This hand, the hand that's the same side leg extension, you just use it to support you. Don't press it into your knee. Avoid any kind of contact with your knee joint here, but anything else that just feels natural, a natural way to support it or to encourage more. Maybe you decide I'm going to start reaching for my foot on that side, just to encourage more or to support more. That's all up to you, your own exploration within your body. Let's come back up and all the way around. Now let's find our block. Can you find your block? It's going to go over. So I've got it kind of near just in front of the leg of my chair, a little bit off. I'm going to lean into that. Now I'm going to ground that extended foot. Instead of the heel down and the toes up, I want it grounded. And I'm going to just try an extension. The block moves easily. That's helpful, isn't it? Because then you can place it exactly where you want it to be in this extended angle. Now, what I want you to do this time is act as if you're lifting your rib cage up. You're trying to stretch the rib cage up toward the ceiling. Arm near your ear. Just have awareness that your arm is using your ear as guidance about where to locate itself. Excellent. Let's take a big sweeping action to come up and out. Bring that foot back to center. Let's resituate now so we can do the same thing on the other side. So extending out, heel is down, toes are up, right angle, knees facing forward, shoulders are forward. Rotate around a little bit. Let's get that toe to drop, rotating. Keep your body upright, verticality of the spine. Engage the abdominals. And we're going to meet with the toes up. Heel is down, toes are up. Opposite arm, real close to the head. We're going to do a side bend here. They call this the gate pose. But it's not about the pose, right? It's about the stretch. It's about the experience within. Again, the hand that is the same side as the extended leg, avoid your knee. Use it to support you in this, however that is. If it's encouraging more, it's supporting a greater extension, great. If it's encouraging more stability for you, that feels safer, great. So you're finding what is the most useful for you. Top arm is going to lift you all the way up. We're going to ground that extended foot. That extended foot is going to find its ground. We're going to get a hold of the block to support, just move it accordingly to support this side angle. Arm glides past the ear. You're lifting your rib cage up. Feel grounding through your feet in any way, just mindfulness to the feet and the strength of your legs now. Just some mindfulness there. As you breathe in and breathe out, and you trust that your breath is informing you. It's informing you for what you need. I love how easy it is to move these blocks, because oftentimes I find it's just not quite right. I didn't pick the best place to begin with, but I'll get there. I can be curious enough to say, I think I could figure out a better way to support my shoulder if I just move that block a little bit. So I encourage you to do that. Finish that breath. Let's come all the way up, all the way up. We're going to get both feet back together here and take a moment to reset your body. So any kind of movement your body is needing, Please do that as you catch up with your breathing and reset your body. Let's pop ourselves out of the chair so we can move into some standing poses now. So come on up and out of the chair. Practice that a few times. Make sure you land properly every time. Just noticing how strong and confident we are about this nowadays. We can always get ourselves out of the chair. Let's find our mountain pose and let's connect with our breath. Inhale up, palms are together overhead. Exhale, we're bowing into our own heart. Inhaling up and exhaling all the way around. I'm going to move the block completely out of the way. And I'm going to come near the chair like that. So you've got the chair near one of your, your standing leg. We'll call that our standing leg, the one that's near the chair. I want you to just take some walks like this, walk, walk, walk. So we're going to start getting the body warmed up. Now try to be particular, like you're on a treadmill, you're on a particular space and you got your arms moving too. And you might even be saying, walk, 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 walk. Just getting yourself connected to this movement. This is a typical way of moving it through the hips, right? Hips, knees, this is how they go. This is what they do all the time. Let's take a different action now. Stop that walk and extend out. Hands are at the waist and extend out. So now our walk is out, back, out, back. So I take a little stutter step in the middle. Again, this is in the effort of raising the heart rate a little bit. So we're moving into a little bit of cardio. Back to both feet together. Take a pause. Catch up with your breath. And we're going to do the same sort of thing. Walk, 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 walk. But when we extend out, we're going to extend our arms. Walk, 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 walk. Extend the arms. It doesn't matter to me how many steps you take. You're just finding your own sort of rhythm here. Let's extend out and hold that one. Extended, make sure your feet feel like they're parallel to each other. Turn the palms up. Inhale up. Arms are as close to your head as you can go. Soften the knees quite a bit. Fold all the way down. Touch fingertips to the floor or touch palms to the floor. Or maybe you're going to go find your block and have that as a place to ground your hands. Look down and underneath yourself. So it's the crown of your head that's reaching to the floor. Bend your knees all that you need to. Then jump your hands to your thighs. So you're above your knees, one hand at a time to the thighs. Strong, strong arms. No bend in the elbow. Bend the knees quite a bit. Lift up. Does this look familiar? This is something we do in the chair all the time. That hovering of the bottom off of the chair seat looks a lot like this. Come all the way up to standing and step back together. While we're here, see if I can put this all together. While we're here, let's do some movements of the leg, that is forward and back. A flex and extension of your hip. Pretty much straight leg goes forward and it seems the knee has to bend to come back. But the idea is that it's free flowing. It's a swinging of the leg. So don't lock yourself into the idea of straight leg, bent knee. That's not, I'm just saying that's kind of what happens. It's the swinging leg. That's what we want to do. And both feet to the floor. Take your mountain now. Make sure your feet are straight, palms are forward, arms close to the body. We're going to do some deep, full body breathing. Full body breath, for those of you who might be new to this experience, is that we want that breath to start at the soles of the feet and inhale its way all the way up through the front of the body. And at the crown of the head, we exhale that breath all the way down the back side of the body. So we're using our imagination to experience our breath differently. And it's a full body breath experience. Exhale completely, flutter your eyes back open. Get used to the light. We're going to start walking. Walk, 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 walk. Just start walking. Arms are moving. Then let's take that side step out. Hands at the waist, little stutter step. Finding something to stare at might be useful. Whatever it is you find as a balancing tool. Good. Let's come back together. Just find a moment now to just catch up with your breathing. Stand tall in mountain, pull the belly in, let your tailbone drop like it's another way of rooting, and how that'll stabilize your low back. And walk. I got my rhythm off. And this time when we extend out, we're going to extend the arms too. So I've got a little different pattern here. You just find yours. It's a walk and it's an extension. Let's meet in that extension. So we got our wide extension between our legs. Your feet are parallel. So it's not heels in and toes out, but your feet are parallel. Your heels line up straight back behind your toes so you feel that parallel movement. Inhale up. Exhale, bow into your heart. Inhale straight up. And exhale, fold. Either you can fold with your arms extended or use your hands to glide yourself down to a forward fold where fingertips touch the floor, or perhaps your palms do. Crown of the head extends down toward the floor, not your face, but the crown of your head. And you're going to allow yourself to bend your knees all that you need to. As you deepen the breath in and out, breathing all the way in, breathing all the way out. One hand at a time will come to your thighs. You're above your knees, and then you're going to bend your knees quite a bit. Straighten your arms, strengthen your arms, and feel that squat that we do in the chair, that very same thing where it feels like you're hovering above the chair. Let's find our breath here. Strong legs, strong arms. Let's come all the way up, and let's bring our feet together. Again, some connection to the body so you can reset, catch up with your breath. And then we're going to do the flexion extension. So standing leg is near the chair, gives you free flowing movement through the other leg. Find a drishti, try to look out and away. And find your whole breath moving in through your body, no matter how noisy it is. Excellent. And let's get both feet to the floor, and we're in our mountain pose. Again, full body breath. I encourage you to close your eyes. You know right where the chair is. You could even just bring yourself so you're touching the chair. And then when you close your eyes, it feels safer. You feel much more comfortable with it. Use the chair to your advantage. Don't lock your knees. A softer knee would be better. And we go back to that fullness of breath all the way through the front side of the body on the inhalation, and the exhalation descends through the back side of the body. Exhale completely and flutter your eyes open. Get used to the light. Then we're going to turn toward the chair. I'm going to have a little different angle than what you would need to have, but just so you can see me, but you're turning so that you're facing the back of your chair. Let's use this to support a warrior one. Right foot steps forward, left foot steps back. All 10 toes are facing the chair. You want all 10 toes, the knees, you're facing the chair. Now drop into a bent front knee. Keep that back heel down. And if you find, oh, I took too big a step, I'm not able to keep my back heel down, then resituate yourself so you can be flat-footed with both feet. Pull the belly in. When we have our right foot forward, that's important for this reason. We're going to take our right hand, the same side as that front leg, and it's going to reach back around to the outside of your back leg and see the twist you've created. Now you can hold the chair here, works beautifully. If you are looking for more challenge and more of a balance pose, you'll reach your hand up to the sky instead of using the chair. Or you could bring your hand, maybe instead of reaching to the sky, you just bring it to your waist. So now, oh yeah, it requires more balance. Your choice, you explore. And you don't have to commit. You can explore and try and see what works best. Now draw those inner thighs toward each other. So you're really hugging the midline as an energy source. Find a drishti. Notice where you're noticing in your body, and maybe how you're focusing your eyes. You're aware of all that. Layers of awareness. Squeeze those thighs toward the midline as an energy source. Let's get both hands to the chair and step your feet together. Strike a pose, strike your mountain pose and reset your body. Maybe you simply need to catch up with your breathing. Maybe you need to bend and move. You decide. It's your exploration. Then we're going to do the other side. The left foot steps forward, the right foot back, warrior one. Again, it's not about the pose. We're bending into the front knee. We want both feet to stay flat. So if you took too big a step, you'll make an adjustment. Hips are shining straight, those hip headlights of ours, shining straight into the chair. Now we're on the left side, left knee is what's bent. That's the hand that's going to reach way over to the back side, almost the side of your right leg, your other leg. This is our balance and twist challenge. So you might just hold the twist and be very comfortable with that. Or you might decide you're going to see about losing the support of the chair and instead trying something different. Pull the belly in. Deepen the breath. You want to feel the fullness of your breath cycle. And remember, you don't have to stay committed. You can try it. You're curious about it. Why do I dwell on the word curiosity? What I've learned is that when we move into that stage of or state of curiosity, let's come out. Come out slowly with mindfulness. And step our feet back together. Take a pause. I'll finish my thought. Curiosity is a way to come out of the monkey mind. It's a different way to use your brain. You're using a different part of your brain. So that rumination of thought has to step aside because curiosity has stepped in, and that's what your brain is focused on. And it's a beautiful way to train your mind to something much more life-giving, much more productive than just ruminating of thoughts. Curiosity is a really good technique and a really good way to, approach life, right? So let's find our mountain pose. We've got the chair nearby. Inhale up. Let one hand, I'm going to say your right hand grabs your left wrist. And you're pulling over towards your left side. Oh, I told you wrong. Your whatever hand, sometimes it's difficult for me to mirror. You're pulling your hand, whichever hand you use to grab your wrist, pull it over toward that same side. So your arm has glided past your ear. Let's soften the knees so they don't feel locked. But your hips and legs feel very stable, so it's the upper part of the body that's doing the bending. The hips and legs are really not a part of it except for the stabilization they provide. Let's come back up. And the beauty of having the chair nearby is for stability, extra stability in case we need to bring a hand to that. So I've just switched hands, got a hold of the other wrist, and now I'm pulling. Now find your drishti. Notice how your ears are facing what way. It's just a great way to provide stability to your neck. I just love that. Deepen the breath. Come back up. Palms come together up there. Inhale, exhale, heart. Inhale up, exhale all the way around. Take a quick moment now to turn your chair so you have the seat of the chair facing you for a downward facing dog. Start walking backwards. Palms are on the chair seat, but you're using the strength of your legs, hips, and buttocks to hold your body weight. You're not shoving body weight into that chair. You don't need to. It's stabilizing your upper body. It's providing lots of support and stabilization for your shoulders and for the weight of your head in some regard. But your legs, your hips, your buttocks, the trunk of your body is being supported by the strength of your hips and legs. So don't let your arms, or don't assign that task to your arms. Maybe you bend and straighten. Maybe you lift heel at a time up. Walk the dog. Move through your feet. Get into the feeling of your toes moving and holding you. Deepen your breath. And then let's take a step forward with both feet. Tiny little step forward, both feet. So they're even, but we're not quite as far away from the chair. And we're going to bring ourselves forward to bend the knee up toward our chest, extend it back, bend the knee up toward our chest, and extend it back. Bend the knee, extend back. Both feet to the floor. Bend the knee, extend it back. We switch legs. Find a rhythm that matches your breathing. Both feet to the floor. Come up slowly. Find your mountain pose. Close your eyes. Maybe you move yourself closer to your chair because, I just asked you to close your eyes. So, okay, get close to the chair so you feel the support of it. Close the eyes and let's do one more round of that full body breath. Beautiful. Let's open the eyes, and it's time to come into our chair for Savasana. So take this moment to sort of ritualize. That's my encouragement, that you start to know, okay, good, we're coming into that restful meditation time. So you get your additional props, for example, or you move yourself into the recliner or whatever it is you've chosen to do to really bring yourself to a place that's very relaxing, very supported, and it gives you the ability to come deep within yourself, deep within the inner body, the energy that's flowing in the inner body. So you need lots of support and permission. Sometimes we have to give ourselves permission to release and relax. I encourage you, in many of my classes, I try to remember this. Go to that part of your body where you hold stress. Start with that. Lovingly, compassionately, no judgment. You go right into the part of your body that you know has been a place where you hold stress. You're just going to maybe bring your hand, if it's your shoulders, in some place that you can easily access. You bring your hand there. That's just a loving act. The heart, the hands are an extension of your heart energy. So it's truly no exaggeration to say that when you bring your hands to different parts of your body, you're bringing love to that, because that is certainly heart energy coming through your hands. In other words, but if not that, it's that you're just bringing your loving awareness to that part of your body that you often hold stress, and you're letting that go. Now find a very deep breath and exhale it out of your mouth. Ah, it's a sound of the sigh. It's a great letting go. Soften the mouth, relax your jaw. You start to soften all of the facial muscles. And do that breath as many times as you might need to. That's up to you. And settle in to the comfort and support of your chair. So you're aware that you are resting. You are encouraging restfulness. Soften the belly. Relax your shoulders. And let's use the mantra, the words, because the words will help our mind stay settled for a little bit longer. It's a worthwhile pursuit, training the mind to approach curiosity instead of ruminating about thinking. That's a worthwhile pursuit, and it's a very worthwhile pursuit to assign in our meditation time a mantra that's a repeated word. It'll give your mind something to do. It allows your mind to rest as well as your body. My favorite is the one I learned from Mary O'Malley, and that is that you breathe in and you say in, and you breathe out and you say out. In, out. Simple words, easy to remember. Stay with them. Let your body relax. Let your mind relax. So remember to exhale completely. Let's change the word. Deep and slow. Inhale deep. Exhale slow. This practice has been about trusting your inner guide, your breath, and your curiosity, and exploring movement and balance, and trusting that exploration. So we've really shifted from this very linear left brain kind of thinking to a right brain, creative, difference, that change from left to right. And it's good for your brain. It's good for your mind to be able to switch and use all parts of the brain. This culture of ours is very heavily loaded, very weighted on the left side of the brain, the very linear, let's count everything, let's measure everything. It's got to be purely, coming from that perspective into creative, fluid, free. That's kind of the words that describe right brain thinking. Deep and slow helps us to integrate new information. And finally, let's change the word as we settle into our relaxation. Calm and ease. Inhale, calm. Exhale, ease. And then feel the calm and feel the ease. I'm going to finish with reading that poem one more time. Bear with me. Stay with the calm and the ease of your deep breath. Yoga is not about the pose. It's not the alignment of toes or hips or shoulders. It's not about the form. Yoga is an invitation to explore, not a command performance. It speaks the language of the soul. In the flow of breath and motion, yoga coaxes us from the confines of the known across the silent threshold into vastness. Yoga is the union of prayer and movement, guided from inside. It is healing and the joy of saying yes to life. Breathe, relax, and feel the body receive its own truth. The seed of freedom flowers within each of us whenever we are open to what's real. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale it out of your mouth. Bring yourself forward of your chair or in some way, move yourself to a way that you can sit up tall and you're aware of the alignment of your spine again. Let's sync up our breath as we close out our class. Inhale, palms come together overhead. Exhale as we bow into our own heart. Inhale up. Exhale, we're going to share that beautiful energy of our class experience with our communities. Palms come together in the prayer position. We bow to ourselves. We bow to each other. Namaste, my friends. Thanks for joining me.
Namaste, Julie. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.